Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. I want to give you an update on some of the stuff that's going on with they call it the Starbucks fire down there in southern Kansas, as well as northern Oklahoma, and then the Texas wildfires. I've been trying to stay on top of things, trying to organize and raise some money for the victims of this horrible event. Um, and I'm totally overwhelmed with the support of everybody that's watching both my Facebook and YouTube videos. Um, I've got a friend out in Ohio. He's updating me on numerous articles that have come out in Ohio. I've got people all over the country that are just sending me links of people showing people hauling hay, and it's amazing how the people have come together. But what I wanted to tell you, I want to read a little bit of some articles that have finally surfaced. As you know, this happened in early March, so around that 6th to 11th of March, there's been a lot of fires, and some of them just cascaded into bigger fires. But some of the smaller fires that burned 10, 20,000 acres, they weren't even talked about because it was so hot and windy and the conditions were so ripe for fires that a lot of people know nothing about none of this. But anyway, I on my YouTube channel, I've got I'm gonna assume it's a young man. His name's Aiden Nelson. He wanted me to give him a shout out on YouTube. So hey, Aiden, hope you're doing well. Um, anyway, let's get right to this. I was really touched by an article that I Google it now. What I've been Googling is Ashland, Kansas. Ashland, Kansas is pretty much the heart of where the big Starbucks fire was. Over 600,000 acres burned. And with that, that's the largest single fire that's ever happened in the history of Kansas. So it's big, folks. It totally devastated the whole community. But what I'm here to tell you is that so many people are starting to reach out, and this is from all of our efforts. And when you watch this video, if you share it and somebody else shares it, what happens is it creates a domino, if you will, and it spreads out through the country. And all it takes is the right person to see it. And next thing you know, you've got some people that really care and they're really wanting to do things. So one article that really touched me is the headline is Facebook spurs Army of Ohio farmers headed for Kansas. Now, I read this and it brought tears to my eyes because I know exactly what these guys were talking about. Basically, one of the kids, whenever he first saw these pictures, and it's pretty much probably the same pictures that I've showed a lot of you of the dead cattle. He was at an event, and I don't know. He was at the farm and dairy. He picked up the farm and dairy newspaper at the Ohio Beef Expo, and it featured the article on the fires out west. He specifically said, "I had to go to the truck because I just started crying." Basically, that's how it all started in Ohio. One newspaper article, but the bulk of the people in Ohio that learned about this fire came from Facebook. As much as I dislike social media, that's what it took for other people to see this event and this horrible atrocity. And I happened to drive through the area, so I saw the fires firsthand. But I went through Dodge City, and it was terrible there. I saw homes burned. I never saw any dead animals. But my brother and I, when we were traveling through, we were just like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Well, the fire was further south is where Ashland is. I've specifically killed many coyotes around Ashland, Kansas. Not on an annual basis, maybe once every 5 years I've went down there. And the thing about it is, I just travel and I go start knocking on doors to see where I can go call. So that's where I end up. And it's phenomenal coyote calling country. I talked to a good friend of mine yesterday, and here's what he had to say. He just started calving out his cattle, and he lives further to the west. But he told me that one of his employees that helps him calve and helps him build fences and this and that, he went over there and he was on ground zero. He had 150 rounds of ammunition, and the one rancher was sitting there beside his vehicle, and his eyes were just swelled up. He'd been crying so much because all of his cattle were out there, and most of them are still alive, so you had to go shoot them. And it hurt that farmer or that rancher so much that this kid, he went out there, he took 150 rounds and he ran out of ammunition. So I can't imagine, killing is one thing, and trying to manage numbers of animals, but when you've got to go shoot something you've become accustomed to, and it's your herd, it's part of your family, it's part of your livelihood, just going to put that animal down is so devastating. I can't even imagine. And I heard other stories, and I read that mama cows were laying there dead, burned, and the newborn calf was still alive, and it was laying there by the mama bawling, and how in the world the calves didn't get killed. But there is a lot of calves that did get killed. And another story about this same person, he said on about 4 or 5 different instances, he found a mama cow, a calf dead, and there was a coyote right with them. So basically this fire had everything so pushed in, and none of these animals, they didn't dislike each other when it got so bad. They actually huddled with each other because they didn't even know what was going on, and it engulfed them and killed them, and probably the smoke inhalation got them down, and then the fire just cooked them. But a lot of the animals had to be shot because they were suffering so bad. Another thing I heard was they found an antelope that had been decapitated, so it probably caught on fire, took off running full steam, and probably hit a fence, and it chopped his head right off. So the animals, obviously, with us being hunters, and I'm hoping that some of the people that watch my YouTube channel are hunters and they're outdoorsmen, we are conservationists. So basically, we care deeply for other animals, even though we're out there harvesting animals because we're feeding our families. Predators need to be managed. I love whitetail deer hunting, mule deer hunting, elk hunting. We are the ones that stick up for this kind of thing and band together. You don't see PETA, you don't see those other organizations coming now to help out. They can't stand that you kill animals, but yet they will not help out when the going gets tough. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. There needs to be an organization that's called Hunters for Farmers and Ranchers. That's what we are, and that's what we do. We love the outdoors, and we greatly appreciate the farmers and the ranchers for letting us hunt on their land. But basically, I just wanted to give you this little bit of update, and I want to talk a little bit about a rancher right here. And this was on this Facebook Spurs Army of Ohio farmers headed for Kansas. And I want to say thank you to all the people in Ohio that just dropped what they were doing, loaded up bales of hay, fencing supplies, and they headed out in a convoy to show their support for fellow ranchers and farmers in the Midwest. Over 30 trucks left Duma Meats, and I want to specifically call out Duma Meats to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. That wasn't the bulk of the people, though. There were so many other. Kel Keller of Medina County, the Cody Muick, Jason Shriver, Steve Schaefer of the Medina County area brought hay and supplies to Colorado March 21st through 23rd. these guys, John Lingacher and Neil Lingacher, are bringing Zachary Dick along for the drive to Ashland, Kansas, March 24th. The Lingachers are delivering just under 400 bales of hay and wrapped silage between the two of them. Now, these are younger guys. What's that tell you about our generation of people? That makes me pretty stinking happy. I'll tell you what. And here I think some of our civilization is getting lost in video games and cell phones and all this other crap. But there are people that care. And I want you to know that. Daniel Duma and his father Dave stand in front of a semi-load of hay that will be delivered to Kansas March 24th from Duma Meats in Portage County. The Dumas donated 500 of their own round bales to the cause. 500 round bales. That is a lot of hay. It makes me so happy. And then here they have a whole group of guys. There must be about 15 to 18 guys. This group of local farmers and friends spent the afternoon, March 23rd, at Duma Meats in Portage County, loading over 20 trucks of hay and supplies headed for Ashland. It's very, very unbelievable. And one of the loads of hay, they had a big American flag strapped to the back of the load of the hay. So what's that tell you about we? Donald Trump says, we will make America great again. We. And this is another instance where people come together, and it just makes my heart so proud. I want to read about Mark Gardner. This is one of the ranchers from Ashland, Kansas. He's a cattle farmer from Ashland, Kansas, lost his home, 550 cows, thousands of miles of fence, and 42,000 acres of pasture land was burned. We had our hay spread out over a 20-mile area to prevent a disaster like this, said Gardner. They had no idea the fire would take it all away. So he was prepared for a fire. They made their own precautions to prepare for a disaster like this, not knowing that it could ever be this big. Gardner farms 48,000 total acres with his two brothers, his sons, and nephews. A large portion of his cattle grazing in a wheat pasture was spared from the flames, but through it all, he is just happy to have his family safe. Now, that is pretty special. I lost my house, but we are fine, said Gardner. I buried some cows, but I didn't bury my kids. Right there, that is humbling. Oh, geez. It's just, it just, and these kids from Ohio that got together, and right here, this is the kid that was at the Ohio Beef Expo. He had to go out to his vehicle, his truck, because he started crying. Keller felt moved to make a difference himself. I asked my dad, what do you think about donating some pay? And he immediately was on board, said Keller. He started asking his friends if they would like to help out and put a post on Facebook to see if he could spark some interest. Before he knew it, he had 2 trucks and trailers loaded with 48 square bales of hay, 800 pounds of horse and cattle feed, and truck seats full to the ceiling of tack supplies, clothing, food, bottles of water, and more. Community members offered to help with fuel costs and donated around $1,000 for Keller to take to the Colorado. People were doing whatever they could to get money to me before I left. People that I didn't even know, he said. Okay, gee whiz. That's what it's all about. And I want to tell you another thing that's just mind-boggling. Finally, Fox News has an article, and it's dated March 24th. Okay, so we've almost, give or take 15 to 17 days it went by, and then finally Fox News picks it up. Okay, holy cripes. And they're showing pictures. They're saying more than 651,000 acres were destroyed in this Kansas fire. It burned everything. Large overgrowth combined with long stretch without rain plus high late winter temperatures led to much of the terrain becoming a tinderbox that quickly became uncontrollable. The fire has taken lives of thousands of cattle, ruined thousands of miles of fence, decimated most of the pasture used for grazing, consumed much of the hay they used for supplemental feed, and destroyed a substantial number of homes. Megan Cramer with the Kansas Farm Bureau tells Fox News. Rebuilding will take years, not months, and tens of millions of dollars to rebuild herds, fence, and other infrastructure these ranchers rely on for income. One of the coolest things I seen was a load from Missouri, and I like I said, I'm just blown away. Here's a load of hay coming from Missouri, and it's just loads upon loads, semi-loads of hay. All these people banding together just makes me so proud. This load from Missouri come in, and on the back of it, they spray painted in orange, Galatians 6:10. And what Galatians 6:10 is, it's a Bible verse, and it says, "Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers." That's good people, folks. And the reason I post these videos is I love to help. I love to give. If I have 5,000 people watch this video, I hope each and every one of you would feel compelled in your heart to go to one of these websites, the National Cattlemen's Association, Kansas Beef Association. Go to Ashland, Kansas. I went there and donated $100 right on the Chamber of Commerce website. They take PayPal, they take credit card. You just donate right now. They'll give you a free t-shirt. Mine's coming. It's hashtag Ashland Strong. That is the support we can help them with. They need money more than anything. If 1 million people donate $1, we are making a difference. I can afford to give somebody $1. I can give them $2. I can give them $10. What good is that to me? I go out for one meal and it costs me $10. I guess I just will not eat one specific meal so I can give. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody that's donating. Thank you to everybody that care. And please tell somebody else about this. Share it. This video has touched so many lives, and this atrocity. I've had people wanting to give me stuff to run auctions with. I have a gentleman from Pennsylvania wanting to give me a scope with another mounting platform, wink, wink. He does not have the money, but he is so compelled to help. It blows me away. It brings tears to my eyes knowing that people care that much, and they don't have the financial basis to help. They're struggling the way it is, but they're giving something because they do want to build some money. All the money that I raise, and I'm going to chip in as much as I possibly can on my own behalf, but I'm going to help I'm going to go to Ranch Aid. I'm going to help that cause. I'm going to go down. I've called the Kansas Cattle Association. I've called them to ask them what the proceeds are going to. Number one, people, I want these ranchers to have mama cows with babies that they can purchase and get their herd going again. Because number one, they need income. They need next fall selling a calf. That's what they need. That's how their whole economy goes. They make money one time a year, and that is it. And they need those baby calves, and this wiped out all their baby calves. So anything we can do, the National Cattle Association, they're going to help get money right to growing those herds again, and that's what we can do too. So thank you so much, everybody. The bid on my turkey hunt, I just got a sealed bid for $1,500. I think it's so great. I think it is so great. And this ought to tell you what America is. This is how we were founded. This is what it's all about, is somebody giving something off your back to help somebody else. So thanks so much. I hope all of you have a great day. I hope this is a great morning for Morning Java with Les, and I hope all of you reach deep inside of yourselves and analyze your own personal life to see how you can be a better person. And this is the start of it. It doesn't matter that we're hunters, outdoorsmen, none of that matters right now. It just matters that we're good people and we want to help somebody else. Have a great day. And like this video, share it with all kinds of people, tell other people about my channel, and let's just make a difference, okay? We'll see you.